3 home games in 7 days as Seton Hall laying out the roadmap of a possible postseason berth. And tonight, the Creighton Bluejays are in town. The Pirates are in search of important win number 1.
Michael Jordan. They won it! Wow! Oh my goodness! How about that? Oh boy! Unbelievable! Dreams to come true. As good as it gets.
Our Wednesday showcase has us at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, where the number 21 team in the country, the Creighton Bluejays, gets set to take on the Seton Hall Pirates. This is an important ball game for both of these squads, but for Seton Hall, after the loss this past weekend as St. John's finds themselves 5-7 in the standings. Meanwhile, Creighton, they're at 8-4, even with the Xavier Musketeers. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Dalen Cuff. We get set to hear from John Rothstein in just a little bit. All right, Kevin Willard, about an hour and a half ago, laid out to us what he wants his team to do in the next 7 days.
They got to win 2 out of 3, which is a tall task, and Kevin Willard did not shy away from it. Nova's coming up next, Xavier, but first and foremost, Creighton, a massive opportunity to bolster that NCAA tourney resume.
All right, let's take a look at our Buffalo Wild Wings eye tracker. Tell me what Seton Hall didn't do well against St. John's, what they need to do tonight.
They turned it over, Tom, and they're going to see this tonight, folks. Angel Delgado's going to get double-teamed, and when he gets doubled, the pass is across the formation to 13, Miles Powell. He makes the big-to-big pass. That's going to be intercepted, covered up, leads to a transition dunk the other way. 18 turnovers for 30 St. John's points in their loss a couple days ago. Now, you're going to have Creighton's going to clog the lanes and help defenders. You got to know where the help is, get that ball moving, challenge the defense, but be smart, take care of the rock.
All right, speaking of help, when Maurice Watson was out with his knee injury 6 games ago, Creighton was wondering where would the help come from, but Kyrie Thomas has stepped up.
They were wondering, we were wondering, but we all now have our answer. The sophomore Kyrie Thomas. Now, the first 2 games after Mo Watson's injury, he's a little slow, but now he has emerged. He is a stat stuffer, folks. Top 11 in the Big East in point and rebounds, field goal percentage, assists, and steals. He has really emerged, though, too, as a leader with Watson out. If he plays the way he's been playing the last 4 games, they can walk into the rock here and walk out with a dub.
Blue Jays are a much different team. Seton Hall hopes they're a different team. The tip is next.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by AT&T, mobilizing your world. By Ram Trucks, America's longest lasting pickups. And by Golden Corral, the best buffet in the USA.
The Bluebeard Army is ready to go. So are we. It's Greek night here at the Prudential Center. We take a look at the matchup tonight between Creighton and Seton Hall. That's the head coach of the Creighton Bluejays. That's Greg McDermott. His 7th year. He has 162 wins. He's been so successful as a college basketball coach. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's ballgame. Obviously, there's some questions for Seton Hall, but also questions answered for Creighton. Davion Mintz has been starting for Mo Watson since the injury. Speaking of the Seton Hall lineup, let's check in with John Rothstein.
Well, Tom, some good news right now for Seton Hall. Ishmael Sonungo will suit up and play tonight. He's missed the last couple of games due to an ankle injury. Kevin Willard just told me he will come off the bench. This is a big defensive boost for Seton Hall, who will get their glue guy back tonight in a key bubble game for the Pirates' NCAA tournament chances, Tom.
Yeah, Kevin Willard in his 7th season here at Seton Hall, 122 wins. He said he's about 70%. He said, I have to manage it, though, because I want to make sure that he's available for the rest of the year.
Yeah, this would be a crucial blow if he didn't play in this game or played and got hurt and couldn't play in the following 2 games, he told us. But you can't protect him too much. As we said, this is not a must-win, but about as close as you're going to get.
Jeff Clark is the referee. He's at center court, and Patton controls the tip for the Creighton Bluejays, and Seton Hall immediately coming out man-to-man defense against the Jays. There's Davion Mintz, the freshman, getting more time because of the injury of Mo Watson. Patton can shoot it from out there. They were isolating him a lot today in shoot-around. You see the kind of defense that Seton Hall was putting in play, and Patton tips the rebound to Carrington.
Good defense in that ISO. They worked, as you said, Tom, they worked on that in shoot-around. That was the last thing they did before they left. Seton Hall, good defense in containing Patton, 7 foot, but very skilled big man.
Man defense for Creighton. Baseline jumper is good for Kadeem Carrington. Well, that's a good sign for him.
At 27 in their game, their first game, but that was, right before the New Year turn, and things have been different. Carrington's shooting around 26% in league play from 3. His shot has struggled. As he can get going, he can really drive this Pirates team forward.
Marcus Foster Foster losing control of the dribble. Shot clock is under 10. We're a minute into the game. Shot clock at 5. Mintz jumper is good. They're going to review that. They signal at 3, but they're going to take a look at it the next timeouts.
It's not what Mintz is known for. 7 for 12 on the year coming in, but when the shot clock's running down, Tom, you're not thinking. You're just playing.
Yeah, defensively, you see where he's located right now. They do not want him to go above the three-point line defensively.
On Madison Jones, 30. When 13, Miles Powell, the freshman, checks in, that's different. Here's the double team we talked about at the beginning of the show. Delgado handled it well, didn't turn it over, but needs to be a threat out of it.
Yeah, Kevin Willard said he has to be able to pass out of it. Shot clock at 2. Rodriguez has it rim out, and Delgado's put back is swatted away by Patton. Here comes Foster creeping up the floor. 3 attempt from the side for Thomas is good.
This team can just flat out shoot the rock. And when they're in transition, they are deadly. And Kevin Willard told us before the game, we have to control pace. They've got to make sure that they can contain that ball early on in offensive possessions and make the Pirates and makes the Blue Jays work more.
And honestly, that's the way they looked with Mo Watson running the point in transition. Rodriguez for 3. This one goes down. And quickly in transition, a little too much by Mintz. He couldn't find the 7-footer along the baseline.
Here's 3 they're going to take a look at. Now, Mintz, the shot clock's winding down. As I said, you're not thinking anymore. You're just going to make a play. He's 3 inches behind, well behind. Big shot for the freshman.
1-point lead for Creighton. 17.5 to play in the first half. Creighton averages 85 points per game. Their first in field goal percentage offense in college basketball, or in Big East. Second in the NCAA. And the 3 by the Pirates is run down by Marcus Foster. Foster right side of the lane, slips the pass to Patton, and that's where he is so good cleaning up inside.
Consecutive possessions, just too easy in transition. One for a wide open triple. This time you get right in the teeth of the defense, and Patton gets an easy dunk.
There's Enzi starting for Sunogo. Carrington thought about the 3, cut off by Thomas. Thomas is the best defender for the Blue Jays. Well, the 3 attempt is good for Carrington. He got off of Thomas and found a different defender.
Yeah, when Huff was on him, Huff 6'8", but he didn't really care. Shot right over.
And Creighton with the answer, a little 2-point jumper from 15 for Marcus Foster, who averages just under 18.
This is great. Let's get to 150 points each here.
It does
looks like right now.
Seton Hall averages 73.7 points per game, but in their last 8 games, that point total is down. Enzi's shot is no good, and the foul is called against Seton Hall. So good positioning underneath by Creighton.
That's great team defense right there. They come out and off the screen. Patton went and helped, and then the recovery. Great stand up there on the help side defense outside the restricted arc. That's 5 guys working together as a cohesive unit defensively.
And that's what Creighton is known as defensively and also offensively.
Efficiency, Tom. I mean, they're one of the top 15 efficient offenses in the country, but defensively they really play well together.
Mintz running the point, covered by Carrington. Here's Foster sweeping to his left, jumper no good. And the offensive rebound is dropped by Patton, but then it rolls out of bounds off Seton Hall. So it'll be a fresh 30 for Creighton and the basketball. When we return, they've got a 2-point lead here at the Prudential Center. Good start to our Wednesday showcase. Creighton's on top 10-8. All right, Down, let's take a look at your keys to the game.
I think Creighton coming into this game, transition defense. They need to really slow down the Pirates, make them grind it into a little more of a half-court game when they're on defense, and they got to clean up the boards, but also second-chance defense. Coach McDermott told us they're going to give up some offensive boards. You can't allow them to score. For the Pirates, value the ball. 20% of their possessions in league play, Tom, have been turnovers. That is too high. That's dead last, and they've got to make this pace. We already mentioned it. Coach Willard wants to be able to slow down Creighton in transition, and he wants his team to look to score early and often.
You talked about turnovers. You mentioned it in the open. They had 18 turnovers against St. John's. Now, you can point to a number of reasons why they lost the game, whether it be Sunogo not being in there, but they didn't take care of the basketball.
That was it. That was the long and the short of it. They did not take care of the ball, and they gave up too many easy opportunities to a St. John's team that has real talented young players, but at times they can struggle to score. When you're setting the table for them, you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Well, Creighton will have the basketball out of this timeout as the ball was knocked out of bounds by the Pirates. The shot clock reset because of the missed shot. So the shot clock is at 30. Now the officials are conferring. By the way, they did review that won 3 attempts by Mintz, and as we showed you a few moments ago, he was well behind the line, so they did signal a 3-pointer. And Creighton, they have 3 straight games for the second time this year of 13 threes or more in a game.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
It is.
But that's what happens when you have multiple guys that can knock down threes. And let's not forget, Justin Patton at 7 feet tall shoots 6 for 12 from the 3-point line. Even he can fill it up when he's in a certain situation. So they got guys that can just flat out stroke it.
By the way, what they were talking about is that they've changed the score inside here at the Prudential Center to 11-8, but we've run through it and we've got it as 10-8. Creighton is on top. So we'll follow that. They may look at it again before the timeout. Here's Huff for 3, and it's good, and he's fouled. It wasn't that Madison Jones hit his hand. He hit his entire body.
It didn't matter. And Huff's a tremendous shooter, and he does hunt threes. He looks for looks. He's shooting nearly 50%, 48% from the 3-point line, and that's an easy call from the official. The pick, the pop, great execution, and took the hit.
Well, now he's at the free throw line to finish off a 4-point play, 87% for the year, and he makes the free throw to count it.
He's one of the guys that makes him really tough to guard, because when he picks and he pops, he's going to spread out your team defensively, and it's really difficult.
What do you got, John Rothstein?
Well, guys, Greg McDermott told me before the game that the key for Creighton is having their foremen, Huff and Hegner, make threes. That 3 right there, a great sign for the Jays.
Yeah, they're tough to defend when they start making 3-pointers like that. There is Greg McDermott.
Desi Rodriguez, 20 in white. He already hit a 3. He hit 5 for 6 from the 3-point line in their first meeting. He's a key to them offensively, too. You're going to need to go through Carrington. He runs a show for them a lot, but if Rodriguez can really emerge in this game again, they're going to be really tough to stop.
Carrington for 3, and it's good. Well, again, that's a good sign for them that he's able to make those threes early on.
And that was part of the game plan, to go underneath handoffs and underneath ball screens. They went underneath. He hit a 3. Might need to adjust. It's the second time now.
And Carrington diving on the floor for the loose ball. It'll be a jump ball, and the possession will go to Seton Hall.
Take a look again as Carrington comes off. The defender in this situation is going to go underneath the ball screen, leaving him space. Now, you don't want Carrington to break you down and get in the lane, but you're also got to step up hard when you go underneath that screen. You've got to really blast up there so he can't get the shot off. Not executed properly, allowing him to get a good look.
And by the way, they have adjusted the score here at the Prudential Center. So what you see on the screen is what the fans are seeing here at the Prudential Center. 15 minutes to play here in the first half. Jones has it knocked away by Patton. Picks it back up from the elbow. Jumper no good. Foster with an easy rebound. Long outlet pass. Look at Patton running the floor. Count the bucket. That is a 7-footer running the floor and finishing.
I think I can see NBA scouts salivating right now. There's reportedly about 12 in the building. Look at him run like a deer. Great hands to catch it. Finish through contact. I mean, this kid is going to be a special player. He already is as a redshirt freshman. Number 23, Justin Patton. We'll see how much more his game develops and if he is playing in the association next year. But he's one of the guys that have had the biggest rise in the last 2 to 3 months. When you start talking to scouts, he wasn't on anybody's board 5 months ago. Now he's in lottery picks in a lot of places.
He has 5 of the 18 points. By the way, Enzi checks out with 2 personal fouls. Sano goes in for the first time. Rodriguez penetrating. Whistle blows at a foul down low. I think they're going to get Huff for pushing against Delgado.
It's a tough call, a lot of contact. Again, a point of emphasis this year, cleaning up the post play. And Huff, I like what he's doing, though, trying to do his work early. Don't let Delgado get a touch.
Rodriguez covered up front by Thomas.
And the ball screen came there, and Thomas went over the top. And watch it, they changed those coverages up. Now that Carrington's hit 2 threes.
That's a bad pass by Madison Jones, trying to be a little too fancy. You had a pass like that earlier today. Here's Huff for 3, no good. And Rodriguez with the rebound.
Manager didn't think I could make it. Hit him right in the leg. Gave up on me. Put that right in his hands.
Sanogo high post. Here's Rodriguez off the screen. Jumper no good. And the rebound is pulled down by Foster. Clement into the game for the first time. And Patton tries to save it, but goes out of bounds along the baseline.
Now that was created by Patton running. Him running the floor again was what opened up that cross-court toss to Thomas. Thomas could have taken that shot. I like the look, but that is still tough for Patton to handle. That was an absolute bullet inside.
Well, Patton will check out. Hansen's in for the first time. So is Toby Hegner. Heard John talk about Hegner. Foster and Thomas, the only starters for Creighton that remain on the floor. Rashid Anthony in for the first time for Seton Hall, number 25. Carrington toward the free throw line. Miles Powell into the game for the first time, gets it to Jones. Too strong with that missed three. We'll see a lot of that sometimes with the Seton Hall Pirates.
And that's actually what the Blue Jays want. That's why they're playing 4 and 5 feet off him. If he wants to shoot threes, by all means, they'll let him do it. And it's in his head a little bit. He looked like he thought. Like he was wide open, was thinking. And as soon as he let it go, you knew it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, 11 for 33 from beyond the arc this year.
I'd like to see the Pirates continue to have Carrington in ball screen action. You could have him in some ball screen action, going to the middle with his left hand, and then put Miles Powell on that strong side. Make that team make a decision, because Powell can really shoot it from the three-point line. 13 in white.
Yeah, Powell is just a freshman. See the run by Creighton over the last 3 minutes plus. Thomas feeds it down low to Hansen, backing his way in. Baseline hook shot, no good. And I think Hegner's going to be called for the foul underneath.
Hanson's got to be aware if they're going to come with and crowd him, or even come to him, he's got to get that ball out of his hands and get it reversed, because there's going to be an open shooter on the weak side.
Comes Carrington up the floor. Seton Hall averaging 68 points per game over the last 8. Prior to that, the last 15, they were averaging 77 points per game. And Miles Powell cannot connect, and then a little miscommunication by the Blue Jays gives the Pirates the ball back.
Never fault guys for playing hard, but you got to be smart too. Just got to call your guy off. There was no white jersey around. Now that was created because Carrington, 0, is now being guarded by Zierden. Zierden a little bit slower, not that great of an on-ball defender comparative to Kyrie Thomas, who was on him. He drove him right down the lane line. Let's see if Zierden can tighten up right here in this matchup.
12:40 to play here in the first half. Carrington, little spin move, pull-up jumper, no good. Rims out. Hansen battling for the rebound, and it's knocked out of bounds off the hands of Anthony. So the Blue Jays will get the basketball back. Last time out, Creighton won the game 89-75. Hegner along the perimeter. Foster for 3, no good. Hegner battling for the offensive rebound and drops it out of bounds. That's a good sign, though, even though that Hegner got in to get a hand on that offensive board.
Yeah, that's Creighton, bottom 100 in offensive and defensive rebound percentage in the country. Meanwhile, Seton Hall top 50 in offensive and defensive rebound percentage. So it's a strength right now for the Pirates. It really hasn't been capitalized on to this point. The Blue Jays done a pretty good job.
So field goals for both teams. Powell left open for 3, fouled as he tries to connect, and he'll go to the free throw line for 3 free throws.
Have to know the scouting report. You got to go on Miles Powell. You got to go over the screen. If you're going to go under that, you got to go under and get up. But that's not smart. Powell is a better shooter than he's a driver. Go over the screen.
Kevin Willard told me earlier this year. He said Miles Powell is the best offensive scorer I have coached as a freshman.
He lost 30 pounds too coming into this year. Changed his body, committed himself to being a player, and he is.
Well, he makes the first free throw, 82% from the line.
Hey, Matt. Switch sides? Yeah, switch. DC? Switch sides?
Second shot is good. Friday night, CBS Sports Network hits the ice with a doubleheader of college hockey powerhouses. First at 7 Eastern, 13th ranked, the defending national champion North Dakota takes on number 8 Western Michigan, followed by top-ranked Minnesota Duluth, traveling to take on Colorado College at 9:30, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. So Powell makes all 3 free throws. And the Creighton lead is down to 4.
Kind of like this by Seton Hall extending a little bit, even if it's a little token pressure, just to make Blue Jays a little uncomfortable, waste some shot clock, might help their defense a bit.
We talked about it before with Mintz and Clement basically taking over the point guard roles for Maurice Watson. Teams are pressuring them.
And Coach McDermott wondered, Greg said, I think they're going to pressure us a little bit, because you have guys like Clement that are solid, but they're not going to blow by you like Mo Watson did.
Off the turnover, Seton Hall can pull within 1. They slip it down low to Delgado, who gets a nice friendly roll. Delgado is now 10 points away from 1,000 for his career. Averaging 15 points per game and 13 rebounds per game. And I think they're going to get Sanogo for a push on Hegner.
Tough call, but Hegner working hard, giving him another opportunity. But on the other end, great pass by Powell. Look at those hands by Delgado. Soft hands, good touch around the rim. The big fella can make plays.
Well, these two teams met back in December in Omaha, and Creighton dominated from the start. A balanced scoring attack saw all 5 starters in double figures. Mo Watson led the way with 21 points and 10 assists. Blue Jays won that game 89-75. They are so good at home. They're very good on the road, but they're so good at home. So now they've got the lead over Seton Hall with 11:16 to play here in the first half. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about where Seton Hall sits right now, under 500 in the conference, but let's look at their resume as we think forward toward the postseason.
Yeah, I think right now, they're, as Jerry Palm says, they're not in. They're on the outside looking in my opinion. Now, the opportunities they have are all in front of them, though. They've got this game right now. It's going to be against a team in the field. Nova and Xavier, as we talked about, their next 2 games at home, and they play at Butler. So they have 3 chances against teams in the field coming up in this game. Those are the 4 locks of the Big East. They can play themselves right into an at-large bid, or they can play themselves into desperation where you got to win the tournament again in March.
Well, they certainly did that last year very successfully. Let's check in with John Rothstein. John?
And guys, one thing to keep in mind when we're evaluating Seton Hall's overall body of work, the Pirates' best 2 non-conference wins against Cal on a neutral court and also South Carolina on a neutral court. But Sindarius Thornwell did not play for South Carolina when the Pirates beat the Gamecocks. That is something the NCAA Selection Committee will take into account when they're evaluating Seton Hall for an at-large bid, Tom.
It's a great point.
That's an excellent point.
Excellent point by John, because Thornwell, in my mind right now, he's the SEC Player of the Year. People talk about Malik Monk and talk about the Aaron Fox, but Thornwell does everything for that team, not just all this stuff on the stat sheet, all the intangibles, the leadership plays, the toughness plays. He's the most valuable player in that conference.
Well, Greg McDermott is talking to Bo Borowski right now, one of the officials, because the officials are still looking at the score, which we mentioned earlier. We thought they had it right at 18-16, but it might be 17-16. And that's what they're looking at right now. We just received the official stats from the score, from the official score on the other side. They have 17-16 listed. So that's why they're talking about it right now. And Doug Shows is going over to talk to Greg McDermott. Kevin Willard was discussing it with the officials.
I think there was an abacus over there, too. I wasn't sure, but I'm pretty sure I saw one.
All right, so they have changed it back to 17-16, which is what we had said before, that we thought it was off by for Creighton by 1 point. So they finally have gone all the way back. They went to the book, they went to video, which we showed you why they can go to video, and they've determined that it is indeed 17-16. It's important to get the score right.
I think that's the most important part. Like, usually I complain about too many reviews, but that one I'm into. Let's get the numbers right.
Great with the basketball. The inbounds goes to Patton up top. Zeroed it off the screen. They wanted to go back to Patton, but he just wasn't open. Delgado cut him off. Thomas has the ball deflected away by Delgado. Rodriguez in transition. Delgado immediately double teamed. This is where Kevin Willard told us he has to pass better, which he does there. Powell for 3, off the mark to the right. Patton calling for it down low, covered by Sanogo. Spin move, baseline, good hands, but the shot is off the mark, and Sanogo with the rebound.
It's a good read by him. He saw the help coming from Jones. He spun away from it to his strong hand. His go-to move, his little baby hook. Just couldn't get it to go down.
Delgado forcing the issue, and he's going to go to the free throw line.
And if you'll notice, we've talked about Patton and NBA potential at 7 feet tall as a redshirt freshman. But you realize he's not guarding Angel Delgado, who is the best big man on Seton Hall's team, because that's where his game has to improve. His core's got to get stronger. He's got to get stronger. So they put, whether it's Hegner on him or Hansen, somebody else on Delgado, and then they'll double with Patton, as Patton came down there and got the foul, because you're doubling the 7-footer can really affect his ability to pass out and be effective.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting point what Greg McDermott was telling us earlier today about how he was going to line the defense. And he was quite honest with us when he talked about Patton, just how gifted he is. but where he does need to improve physically as he grows.
Absolutely, and his frame can handle it too. His frame can handle 25, 30 more pounds. And it's also just getting grizzled, understanding angles, understanding how to give space, how to take away space in the post, how to shuffle your feet properly. All those things are coming. They're just not there right now.
Creighton without a bucket in the last 4 minutes, 17 seconds. Mintz has it knocked away by Jones. Carrington and Miles Powell trying a two-man game. Awkwardly, Powell gets it in the corner. Delgado wants the ball swung to the opposite side. He wants it inside.
Jones got to break the angle and give his touch.
Backing his way in against Pat. Slips his way to the basket, but it's an offensive foul. I thought it might have been a travel, but it's an offensive foul.
I'll tell you what, Kevin Willard wishes it was a travel. He doesn't want Delgado getting any foul trouble. That's what happened out in Omaha. He had 2 fouls in the middle of the half and had to come out. But there's the chicken wing. I mean, it's not a lot, but again, point of emphasis, clean up, post play.
So it remains a 1-point game. Creighton on top. Under 10 to play here in the first half.
You notice they didn't double. It was Patton. They went straight up and see if Patton could stay with him.
Creighton is 0 for its last 7 from the floor. Thomas, well, how do you rectify that? You take it easy shots.
I mean, you can't allow a handoff on the left side to end up on a layup on the right side. That help defense was non-existent.
5 points for Kyrie Thomas, averaging 12 a game. Rodriguez off the high screen.
I'd like to see 20 white Desi Rodriguez be more aggressive.
Well, there you go. From the corner, it's good. You asked for aggressiveness, you got it from beyond the arc. He has 6 points. Thomas from the corner himself, no good. Huff tips it outside and gets it to Foster. The 3 is no good from Huff. That was short. Carrington in transition, slows it up for the moment. Ooh, nice crossover, frees himself to the basket.
His finishing has improved so much. I watched him a lot when he was in high school, Bishop Laughlin. He was all left. Now he can really finish well with his right. That's player development.
Well, he has 10 of the 21 points for Seton Hall. The Pirates have the lead. Well, there you see Greg McDermott, the head coach of the Creighton Bluejays. His team now down by 2. What is he telling his team at this point?
They got to make some better decisions. Offensively, I think they've pushed some bad positions. They've taken some shots that were contested early in the shot clock. I think they need to settle in, continue to look to create early offense, but when you don't get it, make the Seton Hall team work defensively.
There's Kyrie Thomas. We talked about him in the open. 12 points, 5.6 rebounds per game. That's his season average. Now a little pressure again by Seton Hall. Powell's on Zierden. Here's Thomas into the paint. Left corner for a Huff for 3, and good.
Shooters roll.
The ball was leaning to the right, and as it went up into the air, it came back to the left. He has 7 points.
Those are shots that go in as a player. You're like, are you kidding me? If you're in white, if you're in blue, you're like, I knew that was good.
Here's Rodriguez down the middle of the lane, and Hegner's going to be called for the foul and give him continuation.
That's Rodriguez looking to be more aggressive and turn the corner. There's the ball screen. Hegner now isolated. He didn't really do anything to make Rodriguez retreat at all. He was on his heels playing really in a weak position, and Rodriguez took advantage of it.
Well, that's the second foul on Hegner. And Rodriguez trying to pad this lead. 64% from the free throw line. That's been one of the issues for Seton Hall, free throw shooting.
Foul shots win ball games, Tom. And when you're up playing for your tournament life, you've got to step up and knock them down. They have shot 72% the last 3 games, though, so that's better. Seton Hall going to a little zone. 2-3.
Thomas trying to shoot through the zone. They worked on that today at the shoot-around. They expected they were going to get that, and Thomas was the guy cutting to the middle.
That was a good look. Didn't get it to go down.
Carrington with a smooth crossover, and he's fouled with that shot, and he'll get a couple of free throws. A couple more free throws for Seton Hall when we return, trying to add to a 2-point lead. Seton Hall on top by 2, 24-22. We mentioned they came in 5-7 in the Big East. They have 3 home games coming up, but they're pretty impressive opponents that they're going to be facing.
Oh yeah, Nova's next, then Xavier after that. It's not going to get any easier, but these are opportunities to play your way into the tournament, and Creighton Carrington has stepped up in this game when they needed him. In league play, his efficiency has gone down. He's down to 37% from the field, but in this game, he hit that jump shot to start it off, and he's been on a roll ever since. They've been going underneath ball screens like that right there in the handoff. He's making them pay. He's stroking it like he was in the non-conference season, really stepping up when they need him to perform early in this game.
I got to tell you, that was very impressive that you were able to do all of that with the highlight and talk about Creighton Carrington, because the Pirate mascot was roaming behind you and sort of photobombing us while we were on air there for a moment.
I felt like there was something on my neck.
It was something large.
I was like, what's going on? And that's like, you stay focused, like you're the free throw line. You got to block it all out.
Carrington to the line. And he misses the first one. Carrington is a 66% free throw shooter. There he is, that scoundrel. Second free throw is good. The lead is 3 for Seton Hall. 11 points for Carrington. Again, a little token pressure by Seton Hall.
This has affected the game too. It's taken them out of their offensive rhythm, and it's definitely wasted time off the shot clock. Couple that with them not getting stops, they can't get in early offense.
Patton trying to set a screen, then go down low. He's free underneath. They didn't see him. That's because Delgado fell down. Foster in the paint. Doesn't get the roll. Patton tries to save it. Then it's saved by Sanogo, and it will be Seton Hall basketball.
Sanogo, remember, dealing with an injury, looks a little gimpy as he jogs up the floor.
I wonder how many minutes they're hoping to get from him tonight. I guess it'll depend on how he feels at halftime.
Say you go by feel. If he can keep going and he's okay, you keep playing him.
Delgado from 17, no good. And Thomas with the rebound for Creighton. Thomas crosses over, high screen by Patton. A little too short off the side of the rim.
It was a great wall up by Delgado, not to foul, but to contest the shot.
Delgado puts it on the floor, slips it down low to Sanogo, and he can't finish the layup, but he is fouled, so he'll go to the free throw line. Well, Greg McDermott's team, number 20 in the country. Take a look at their tournament resume. A lot of questions about how they would be when Mo Watson went down. They're 3-3 since Watson went down, but that is an impressive resume at this point in the year.
Yeah, they're not worried about getting in. I mean, they're in. The question is, what's their seed going to be? And I think, and McDermott told us this too, the committee's evaluating them without Mo Watson. Where do they fit? If Mo's still on this court, they probably wouldn't have gone 3-3 in that stretch. They'd be in that top 16 we saw released at the weekend. Now, going forward, what is this team? And he said it to us, we have a chance to play ourselves as high as we can in the next month, but they're going to figure out who we are, and we're still figuring out who we are.
Sanogo battles at home. Rodriguez will check in for Sanogo. One thing Greg McDermott said to us, he said, out of the 6 games, the 3 losses, really only the Georgetown loss was one that we were out of. They were 1 for 18 from beyond the arc. He said a couple of the other ones we were in, and honestly, if we had made some free throws or some easy layups, we probably would have been a little tighter in those games.
Yeah, 1 for 18, and they're still 41% of season.
Right.
3 is pretty unbelievable.
Patton with a sweet putback. That's what happens when you can get higher than the rim. And he lays it in. So 2-point game. Seton Hall on top, 7 points for Justin Patton.
It's been a surprise. 6 second chance points for the Blue Jays, 0 for the Pirates. That's supposed to be an Achilles heel for the Blue Jays, and it's not been.
And Patton forces the turnover, but then gets it right back to Seton Hall. Carrington right to the basket. And he's fouled on the floor by Zierden.
This is the good and the bad of Justin Patton. First of all, 7 feet tall, great hands, great feet, great awareness. He screens, he rolls, he attacks the offensive glass. Great job getting the tip in. The other way, he gets the rebound. Big fella. You don't need to put the ball on the deck. Just chin that thing, get it to a guard, and do what he did earlier. Run the floor.
Yeah, because he's going to be better suited to help Creighton if he's under the basket
on the
offensive end.
I mean, he's not Magic. We don't need him taking the ball off the court.
Darrington makes the first free throw. He now has 12 points in this first half. And Greg McDermott is still chatting with Bo Borowski over on the sidelines. Second shot is good. Seton Hall fans, they would like him to get a technical.
see him saying to Marcus Foster as soon as he got the ball, go, go. He's looking to get their pace moving better on the offensive end.
Ronnie Harrell's number 4. He's in for the first time. Fadeaway jumper by Marcus Foster, no good, but the putback will be wiped away. That's a violation by Patton. The ball was still on the cylinder.
Love this call to isolate Foster with a post-up, but I want him taking it to the basket. I want him being aggressive. When you fade away, the defense has now won the battle. Maybe shot fake that and get into his body, try to step through him or step by him.
Whistle blows, and Miles Powell will be called for the illegal screen.
If we can take another look at that. Those things always kind of, players always, nowadays continue they can flop around those screens, and a lot of times officials will react to their action, not actually the content. It didn't look like it was that bad initially. He's moving. Okay, that's bad.
He was also at an awkward angle.
Let's just say, that was a moving screen. That wasn't really a flop. But he did sell it quite a bit. You got to do that.
How about the Blue Jays? They started 6 of 8 from the floor, now 3 for their last 17. Trying to get the ball with cutting. Marcus Foster, who loses it on the sidelines. Gets it back along the baseline. Up for 3, and it's no good. And a foul is going to be called against Desi Rodriguez. Huff is going to get 3 free throws. Well, make sure to join the Coaches versus Cancer 3-point challenge. Join your team. Make a pledge, beat cancer. Pledge now at 3pointchallenge.org. Try to cut into this lead. Huff has 7 points. Now he has 8 points. What's going on, John Rothstein?
Well, Cole Huff at the foul line is a transfer from Nevada, and rebuilding Creighton's program has been done by transfers post Doug McDermott. Mo Watson was a transfer from Boston University. Marcus Foster was a transfer from Kansas State. And next season, Caleb Joseph will be this team's starting point guard, a transfer from Syracuse. So transfers a way of life in Omaha, Tom.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a guy who came into this game with over 1,100 points. So he is a scorer. In fact, he had 35 against Seton Hall last year as he misses the final of the 3 free throws.
We were talking about that, how they've been such a great destination for transfers. Well, you play an up-tempo style, you've got pros, you play in front of 18,000, and you're in a great conference. It's not a hard sell.
I think you have a great coaching staff as well. You see Chris Mack and Xavier having the same success with a lot of transfers for the same reasons.
This conference is loaded with great coaching.
Shot clock is at 5, and Sanogo is able to finish. He has 3 points. And the steal by Sanogo. Foster's saying he was hit on that pass. Seton Hall has a 4-point lead, trying to add to it here. And the steal by Huff. Outlet pass to Foster, one-on-one with Carrington. Off the glass, it's good. And Carrington is called for the foul.
And that's where Seton Hall, 4 points, as you said, chance to add to it. You turn it over, it leads the other way to an and one. This could be a potential 5-point swing just because the pass wasn't well executed. And then great vision by Huff to throw it right up to a streaking Foster.
Now that's what you would expect a guy to do in transition, is to go to the rim. But Greg McDermott said that's where Foster has improved since coming over from Kansas State, is that he's going to the basket more.
Getting to the basket also since Watson's gone out, looking to create more off the bounce for them. They need that.
Lead is down to 1. 4:20 to play here in the first half. And Carrington had the ball knocked away by Foster, gets it back, and then rolls it out to Rodriguez. Shot clock is down to 5. Shot clock at 3. Rodriguez for 3. Good! He has 12 points. Zierden trying to answer. The ball is tipped into the hands of Sanogo. And again, a 4-point lead that Seton Hall is trying to add to on this possession. Rodriguez again for 3. Left open, too strong.
Love the last shot. That one a little too quick.
Harrell knocked that ball out of bounds. Seton Hall will get it back. They're moving the basketball.
Created by Delgado out of the double team. He skipped it across all the way around the horn. Desi for 3.
Seton Hall is shooting 47% so far. They have a 4-point lead over the Creighton Bluejays. Let's take a look at the AP poll powered by Ram Trucks. Well, the Big East has 3 teams in the top 25. The ACC, of course, leads the way with 6 teams in the top 25. And speaking of the Big East, here's John Rothstein with some news about the Big East.
Well, Tom, I reported earlier today that there has been some initial discussions between the Big East and UConn in terms of potential expansion. The hurdle here between the two sides is going to be what UConn does with its football program. Nothing is imminent. UConn would have to find home for its football program for the Big East to have a new marriage with the Huskies program, but there has been initial discussions between the two sides. Again, nothing is imminent, Tom. Well,
it's the ever-changing landscape of college basketball. We've seen some stability over the last handful of years, but at any given time, you can see movement like that, potential movement like that.
It would be interesting. I know we'd love to see some of these old rivalries renewed. I'm sure on the women's side, nobody's really happy about that.
Speaking of the Big East, Providence, as you probably have watched on your ticker, has defeated Xavier. That certainly is going to help Providence's chances for the NCAA tournament. Here's Rodriguez, free pass right to the basket.
It looked like he was going to do a little Euro step or a jump-through move to beat the help defender, but when Harrell came over and kind of gave him the basket, he adjusted. Great adjustment.
Well, he has 14 points. Coming into tonight's ball game, Delgado had 988 points and Rodriguez at 965. As Foster kisses that off the glass, we figured Delgado would get to 1,000. We figured if Rodriguez went off, maybe he would get to 1,000. Certainly before this homestand comes to a close. Seton Hall has made 6 of its last 8 field goals. Carrington for 3.
Great job by Carrington coming up and filling off the ball screen. He was the weak side, a good throwback, a good finish.
Well, he has 16 points, and now 3 for 3 from beyond the arc. Here's Huff for 3. It's good. Well, he has such a long release.
It's high, too, and he's already at 6'8". This place just went silent.
Well, he has 12 points.
How far off they are, Madison Jones. Just not even worried when he catches the ball.
Every team has a scattering report, and they do have certain guys that they will lay off. Shot clock at 5. Carrington for 3. No good off the front of the rim. And the rebound tipped to Foster. Foster up the floor, loses control, and then tips it to Zierden. Harrell for 3. It looked good out of his hand, just a little too much. Carrington is fouled on the floor. Second foul on Huff. Coming up on AT&T at the half, Adam Zucker, Pete Gillen, Danny Granger, and Gary Parrish are in the studio. We'll have scores and highlights from around the nation. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. Madison Jones to the free throw line. Carrington to the free throw line. Total figures now in 23 of his 24 games. He converts the first. He has 17. That's a good game, 17 points.
Tell me about it. And I'm really coming into this game, wondering Kyrie Thomas be able to take out Dean Carrington. He got the better of Thomas early on, and Thomas picked up 2 fouls. So Zierden's been on him at times. That's been a bit of a mismatch we've seen, and they're attacking that.
32 of the 40 points for Seton Hall from Carrington and Rodriguez.
Look where they're setting up their offense. I mean, this is...
We talked about the absence of Mo Watson. Where does it hurt? Sometimes it hurts at the point guard position when they're trying to generate the offense.
100%.
Harrell to the corner for Zierden. His shot is good.
Great understanding by Patton. Patton was waiting. He was waving his hand to Harrell to skip it behind him because he was going to screen the back man, and he did just that, and Zierden delivered.
1 minute to play here in the first half. Rodriguez off the screen by Delgado, lost control, knocked out of bounds. And it will be Creighton basketball.
Here's the last pass. I mean, you can see Patton in the top part of your screen right here. Look at his hand. Look at him waving his hand, saying, throw the ball, throw the ball. And he screened the back man. Great understanding by the young fella.
Kevin Willard cannot believe that call. He thought that the ball was touched last by Creighton. 52 seconds to play.
We always talk about the first and last 5 minutes of each half being critical. They went up 7. Huff bangs that 3. Now, if they can close this gap and end up being down 2 or 3 or even, that's a big win for the Blue Jays on the road here.
I have to admit, I'm surprised the officials didn't review that last possession to see who actually knocked the ball out of bounds. Carrington with the steal, left side of the lane, draws the foul. That foul is going to go against Foster.
Zierden coming off, great help by Carrington. And Zierden just he put his head down. He was just focused on his defender, not worrying about where the help was. You're driving the middle, there's going to be hands and bodies. You got to be strong with the rock and identify who's stepping in.
18 first half points for Carrington. And this is the first free throw. Huff will check back in. Harrell will check out for Creighton. To score 18 points and a half.
15.
15?
15. That was courtesy of the Brown Bears. They didn't want to guard a down screen. It was the same play 3 straight times, 3 straight threes. That helped.
Carrington now 6 of 8 from the free throw line. Powell will check out. Enzi will check back in. 19 points for Carrington. I guess he's the kind of guy that he would not want the half to end when he's shooting like that.
You don't. When you're rolling, you want to keep playing. And now the half's also going to change, and Thomas is going to come back in. Interested to see how they guard him. Will they start going over ball screens and handoffs? Will they run him off things? Problem is with Carrington, if you get him going downhill and he gets in the middle of your defense, that's real trouble. So we'll be really interested to see the chess match of how they play ball screens and handoffs on the ball with Carrington, because he's got it going.
We've got a 2-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Creighton, I would assume, is just going to run it down as far as they can.
And it looks like they're in a zone right now, Seton Hall.
It might be Foster that'll be the guy in the middle of the zone offensively. He has the ball up top. Shot clock at 7. Now they're in man. Shot clock at 5. Foster lets it fly, and it's good. The three-pointer makes it a 1-point game. Rodriguez lets it go from midcourt. It is up the side of the backboard. And Seton Hall will have to be content with a 1-point lead going into the break, 41-40.
Top 20 team coming in your building. It isn't going to be easy. They're going to have to battle for 40 minutes, and we're tightened up for a really good one in the second half.
Let's check in with John Rothstein, who's with Kevin Willard.
Coach Willard, a much different start for Kadeen Carrington tonight versus Saturday. What changes for your team when he scores the ball like this?
Oh, we're a little fresher, a little rested. Obviously playing at home always helps a lot. So I thought he got off to a good start, really took good shots.
You gave up 40 points. What has to change defensively in the second half?
We're doing a pretty good job on their initial action. We're not scrambling good enough. They're really hurting us when we scramble. They're making good extra passes and making shots.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Sean.
Tom?
All right, John, thank you very much. So that's the end of the first half with the score, Seton Hall 41, Creighton 40. After the break, it's AT&T at the half. A lot of offense in this first half. You're watching the Wednesday Showcase on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, if you like offense, we had offense in the first half. It was a fantastic first 20 minutes. You see the two teams combined shooting from beyond the arc, 13 of 27. There has been some action in the paint, but it's been mostly beyond the arc. All right, so we expected it would be an offensive battle, a little bit more than we anticipated. And for Seton Hall, this is a must-win. They wanted 2 of 3 in the next 7 days. They've got the 1-point lead, and they've got 2 scorers that are lighting it up.
Yeah, Carrington and Desi Rodriguez have really stepped up, especially Kadeen right out of the gate. Their point guard, their leader, just went right to work making plays early and often. He knocked down the first shot to start the game and really never looked back. They struggled with ball screen defense with him. They struggled man-to-man just guarding him. He's killing them, and then Rodriguez really started to take over as this game wore on. He became more aggressive, settled in. Remember, he was 5 of 6 just from 3 in their first meeting. 5 of 8 overall, 3 for 4. And Greg McDermott said we have to contain Rodriguez. We have to make it tough for him. They have not done a good enough job, flat out.
All right, so we talk about these 2 scorers. So for the season, the 2 of them average about 32 points per game. Tonight, they're at 33 points combined. So I can't wait to see what the next 20 minutes has in store.
I don't think any of us can wait. Now, Carrington, though, bear in mind, he's down about 13.7 points per game in league play and 37% from the field. His efficiency and effectiveness has gone down. He is playing at a really high level, an efficient level right now, shooting 5 for 7, also 4 assists.
So Creighton with the basketball to begin the second half, down by 1. Our Wednesday showcase is 20 minutes left here at the Prudential Center. Huff starts the second half. We'll talk about that in a moment as Enzi pulls down the rebound.
Excellent execution. They worked on that shoot around, having a guy come over the top of 2 screens, but the play is really for Huff on the flare screen. They got the open look. He just missed it.
Madison Jones into the paint, pulls it back out. Outside to Carrington, covered by Thomas. Low post to Delgado, double team, tough pass. And Mintz will pick up the loose ball. Mintz doesn't often start the second half over the last 6 games. Last time they had Clement do it because they wanted to have a little more poise and more understanding of the offense. Foster thought about the 3, into the paint, off the back of the rim, and an offensive foul is called. And that will be the second foul on Foster as Carrington goes to the ground. Let's check in with John Rossi to talk to Greg McDermott. John?
Yeah, Tom, Greg McDermott just told me that the 2 things he stressed in the locker room at halftime was altering Creighton's ball screen defense on Kadeem Carrington, also just hanging in there on the glass. Also want to clarify, I had a report in the first half about the discussions between UConn and the Big East in terms of potential expansion. Both the Big East and UConn are denying that report, Tom.
All right, John, thank you. We appreciate that. 1-point lead for Seton Hall. Delgado posting up down low. He only had 2 points in the first half.
Did you see where he's posting up, Tom? He's
Too far
14
away.
feet, 14 feet from the hoop. That's good work defensively.
Madison Jones for 3, no good. And you said it before, Creighton's content with Jones taking those 3s.
Absolutely. Let him. He shoots 35% from the 3-point line. Let him shoot those 3s.
Enzi with the steal. Not a great pass by Kyrie Thomas. Here comes Carrington, and it's a traveling violation.
I want to go back to something that John did say, though, that his report on McDermott. They are doing a great job on the glass right now. They're winning the rebounding battle in terms of giving up offensive boards. Only 3 offensive boards surrendered, only 2 second-chance points. That was a big key for Greg McDermott. They've done a good job.
It's probably something that he just re-emphasized at halftime just to make sure they keep doing it. Patton, triple teams. Here's Mintz for 3. It's good. And Creighton has the lead. It's the first time since they were up 22-21 in the first half.
Jones has got to be smart. There's no need for him to go 2. You said there's no triple team needed. They already had 2 guys really crowding it.
Yeah, it's not often you see somebody triple team.
No.
And Jones.
If you did, guess what? Somebody made a mistake. In that case, it was Jones.
Here's Patton running the floor again. He is really athletic.
So athletic, but how about the pass by Mintz, just dropping it in right over the shoulder? There was a defender there, too.
9 points for Patton. Patton, by the way, 70% from the floor coming into this ball game. As strange as that sounds, that's 3rd best in college basketball. But it's really incredible.
It really is. And for, again, a redshirt freshman. Now, he's not taking a lot of tough shots, but he does shoot 50% from the 3-point line, 6 of 12 on the year.
Shot clock at 2. Delgado down low to Jones. Baseline jumper. He did not get it off. 10th turnover for Seton Hall.
Here's the kick out. Now, see, Jones is guarding on the strong side here. He can't leave his defender. He just stays and he hangs out. His offensive player was Mintz. There's got to be communication. Rotate off him, leave 2 there. You go back to your man. On the strong side, that's too easy.
All right, take a look at the last shot. Shot clock is at 0, and the ball is still in the hands of Jones, so it's the right call by the officials. They are reviewing it to make sure it is a shot clock violation. Doug Schaus to the right, Jeff Clark to the left. Actually, they're going to look to see when the ball went through as well. Make sure the game clock is right.
Yeah, that call's dead on.
That's right on. The game clock's fine. It's at 17-16. See, the light's on. It's more about the number on the play clock. So the call stands. And Creighton with a 2-point lead.
Now, big key for Seton Hall when they started to turn this around, because they were down early in the first half, and they turned it around because they started getting stops, and that helped their offense. They got out in transition, they scored, and that helped their defense. So on both sides, it was helped, but it was keyed by their defense. They were holding Creighton to 43% from the field. Now, just in these first few minutes, they're making shots. Creighton's making plays. Seton Hall has to get stops.
Nearly 3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Thomas off the deflection is fouled going up. It's going to be a 2-shot foul.
Rodriguez just kind of looked like, did that really happen? I mean, that was in his hands. Now unfortunately you give it up to Thomas. Now you have a chance again to get a stop and get out, and it didn't work out.
Kyrie Thomas, 77% from the free throw line. The first one good. Doug Gottlieb has an opinion on everything happening from around the sports world. He's not afraid to let you know how he feels. The Doug Gottlieb Show, weekdays at 3 Eastern, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. You're going to want to tune in tomorrow. Kate Upton will be the guest of Doug Gottlieb tomorrow. Just announced that she's on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Like a third time or something? Pretty good life.
Carrington. Out of Rodriguez. Inside for Delgado. I was wondering when he was going to shoot it.
That was great patience, though. Great ball fake, which actually moved the double team off and created space.
4 points for Delgado, and the answer by Foster on the other end.
Foster's playing well, starting to be aggressive. He's got 4 assists to go with his 12 points.
Delgado again tried to slip it to Enzi. Instead it goes to the corner for Carrington. And Patton saves it.
He's got to stop trying to make that pass interior. He already turned it over earlier in the half. That was almost a turnover. It's the skip across the formation is the pass.
Here's Mintz for 3. Made one earlier. And the foul going to be called against Jones, battling underneath with Thomas.
Great. They are battling on the boards. Again, bottom 100 in the nation in both offensive and defensive rebounding percentage. But just fighting here, Thomas. And you see Jones, he's got his arm locked. That's a good call. That's back-to-back possessions now. They've got an additional chance at the basket because Seton Hall's not cleaning up.
Well, Jones will check out. Miles Powell will check in. Mintz just barely gets it in and barely into the hands of Thomas. Thomas, alley-oop. Well, you can see that evolving as he was roaming into the paint.
Smart play. Waited for that defender to commit just enough that he could get it up and over.
That's 11 points for Patton. And now Creighton's lead is up to 6. This matches the largest lead for Creighton. And it looks like they're going to get a foul on Kyrie Thomas. And some free throws for Carrington.
It's his 3rd foul, so we'll see if he stays in this game because he does stuff like this, folks. Dropping a dime to Justin Patton up top, sparking them. They're up 5, 6. Excuse me, as we go to break.
Teams making some noise in the Big East, including Providence. Big victory over Xavier tonight. Kyron Cartwright had 17 points. How about Marquette? They defeated Villanova earlier this season, and everybody thought, all right, they're in the tournament. So we take a look at the Golden Corral. Teams hungry for a bid. What do you think about these two teams?
Providence did themselves a big favor. That win against Xavier was really big. And coming up, they've got Creighton, they have Xavier again, and they play each other. So right now, I actually don't think either one of these teams is in, but they both can play their way in. Marquette's got Xavier twice, Creighton, and Providence. So you got 3 games against the field and a fellow bubble team. Both these teams are poised to make a run, but you got to perform on the court.
I'll tell you what, it makes the rest of the regular season and even the postseason tournament even that much more exciting when you know that one team can knock off the other at any given time.
Absolutely. And there's so many battles like that across conferences right now because the mid-majors aren't pushing anybody. There's, Atlantic 10 might be a 2-bid league. Mountain West is a 1-bid league. The WCC is only going to get 2 in. BYU's falling out of that. There's a lot of teams not stepping up. So a lot of these power conferences, there's going to be more bids to go around. You've got to play your way in, maximize your opportunities.
Carrington misses the second free throw after making the first. He has 20 points tonight. That's the 10th 20-point game this year for Kadeem Carrington. Creighton's largest lead tonight is 6. Tough pass, good catch by Foster.
They worked on that too, that back cut from Foster in the corner, and Patton just is passed a little bit too far ahead.
Yeah, when they worked on it at shoot-around, it looked a little prettier than that. As the shot clock is down to 5. Shot clock is at 2. Foster from the free throw line. Count the bucket. Rodriguez with the foul.
What a big play. And this is just a great player making a play. Now check out when he dribbles, folks. The ball's like on his hip. It's shocking that he can get it up and even be comfortable to get off a good look and then to take the contact too. See how it doesn't come up clean. You want to drive that ball to the floor and it comes right in your shot pocket. He had to reach down to get it, adjust, and still made the shot.
And it misses the free throw, but this is the largest lead of the evening for Creighton. 6-point lead in the first half, and now a 7-point lead here in the second half.
They've got to get Delgado going.
And maybe not with that shot, but that might get him rolling.
Exactly it. That shot is good for him, and you wanted to see him do that sometimes. I think he needs to manufacture points, and Coach Willard told us that. He's got to get more offensive boards. He's got to get himself to the foul line. Right now, he's only got 2 offensive boards. He averages 4.5 a game in league play.
Patton falls to the floor. Shot off the side of the rim. Delgado with the rebound. Carrington up the floor and does not get the spin, but will get a couple of free throws.
I'm all about guys trying to take a charge, but Mintz has got to know when you're not in position, maybe make a play on the ball. I'd like to see him try to swipe down and try to make a play on the rock versus a charge that he wasn't going to get. He was never close to set.
Well, Carrington will go to the free throw line. A couple more shots, 20 points tonight. And he's now 7 of 11 from the free throw line. So what's at stake? Well, the Big East regular season title. Villanova sitting atop the standings at 12-2. They face Seton Hall this Saturday. Seton Hall 2 games under 500 after winning the Big East tournament championship last year. Kevin Willard told us before the game, 3 games at home in the next 7 days or 8 days. I need 2 of those 3.
And he wasn't shy about it. He was very clear. This is the deal. Now, he says he doesn't talk about the team at all. Those guys are all one game to the next, but the staff knows. They know where they fit in the RPI. They know where they're at in the landscape of the nation. He knows what they need, and that's exactly it.
Meanwhile, for Creighton, 5 of the next 6 are against the top 100. And the 6th is St. John's, which is playing very well.
One of the most improved teams in the country with some of the best young players in the nation.
Patton a little too strong. Here comes Carrington. Carrington's just attacking the paint. Jones for 3, no good. Boy, he was open again. Now Foster for 3. It's off the side of the rim. Oh, that ball rolls right out of bounds off the foot of Madison Jones. Sanogo got in the way.
This is just unfortunate. They've had a number of unfortunate plays. Like that Foster getting the and one right there. Those are like backbreaking. You're about to get a shot clock violation. He gets an and one. You get a rebound, ignite your break. The ball dribbles out of bounds. You get a stop. It falls out of Rodriguez's hands. It falls into Thomas's hand. There's been 3 plays right there.
Creighton has 16 points off the 11 turnovers. Zierden for 3, no good. And now Carrington with the rebound. He's had a big night offensively. Rodriguez right side of the lane. Left hand shot is good.
Rodriguez has Clement on him. He should be going all the time to the 10.
16 points. That's not a great shot by Huff. Off the side of the rim. Carrington, Powell way downtown. Good. The freshman gets everybody on their feet. He gives Seton Hall a 1-point lead. They were down 7 just a few moments ago. Seven minutes into the second half. Foster right through the middle or the side of the lane and lays it in.
Great take by Foster. He's a little limping right now up the court, but that just can't happen. Jab step and then right down the middle with no help. Foster really looks like he's in some discomfort.
Seton Hall is on an 8-2 run.
Foster's asking to be subbed too right now. See if he can make it through the possession.
Oh yeah, he's pulling on his jersey. Carrington is fouled on the floor.
Rodriguez has got to go yell, give me the ball and get out of the way. You've got a guy asking to be taken out because Foster's clearly in some discomfort. But look at this, just jab step right down the middle. There's 3 guys that should be 1 step further to the right. You got to do the little things. And now he's asking to come out, and he heads right to the end of the bench to get some treatment. But Rodriguez has got to go say, guys, give me the ball.
Fresh 30 for Seton Hall off the foul.
Number 2 blue, Kyrie Thomas has 3 fouls. He's the best defender on this Blue Jays team. He's on Rodriguez, 20 and white. Should go at him, see if he can pick up a 4th foul.
Yeah, that would be huge if he picks up 4 at this point in the game. Delgado from the free throw line. Sweet jumper. He rattled that one home. He has 8 points.
Second time, little ball screen right inside the key, the top of the lane, pick and pop. They got to maybe change up their ball screen coverages there.
1 point lead for Seton Hall. We've had 8 lead changes. Thomas, tough shot. And the putback by Hegner results in a foul.
We were wondering if Angel Delgado was going to get going. He made one pick and pop three, and here's another one. Ball screen, helps, comes over, throw it back, easy.
Coming up next, the road to the Final Four continues with a Mountain West battle as the Aggies of Utah State play host to Steve Fisher's San Diego State Aztecs, only on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, you mentioned before, it's probably a one-bid league. Now, Colorado State sitting at 10-4 in the conference. Look where San Diego State is. They're creeping up at 6-6 and 14-10 overall.
There's still a lot of talent in this league, though. They just beat each other up. Whether it's New Mexico, San Diego State, Nevada, Boise, and Colorado State. All teams are going to be battling to get to the top of this conference standings, help them get some buys into the Mountain West playoffs. It's going to be, that tournament is going to be tremendous.
Yes, it is. Seton Hall with a 1 point lead, 56-55. They're on a 10-2 run, but Creighton with the basketball. Hegner off the inbound, was left wide open, and he lays it in.
They worked on that, too. That's something that they may have not shown in a while, but they knew that they would call it out of a timeout. Greg McDermott said they did just that, executed perfectly.
Hegner and Hansen are sharing the interior for Creighton. Snogo off that bum ankle is able to track down the errant pass.
You see Zierden 21-9, Carrington back the ball. They're trying to take him out.
Pass is cut off. Not a great pass by Rodriguez. Here comes Thomas flying to the rim. Reverse layup, no good. Hegner actually hit the backboard. He's got to be careful of that as the ball's on the cylinder. Here's Rodriguez, and an offensive foul is called on Desi Rodriguez. Let's check in with John Rothstein.
Guys, Marcus Foster is checking back into the game right now. Just a little banged up on that play before the last timeout. He is okay, obviously, as he's checking back in for Creighton, Tom.
Well, that's a good sign for the Blue Jays. By the way, for Desi Rodriguez, who was just called for that foul, that's his third personal foul, so he's going to take a seat on the bench.
That's critical because if they keep denying Carrington the ball, Rodriguez is your other playmaker off the bounce. If he's not in this game, they could struggle offensively.
Hansen along the high post. Under 11 to play here in the second half. Foster off the screen, step back jumper short. Miles Powell in transition. And a foul on the floor. Clement called for the foul. And Mintz will check back in. Clement will take a seat. And Seton Hall will inbound along the baseline. Each team with 5 fouls so far.
2 guys on Delgado. See, Snogo, he's a great defensive player, 14 that has the ball, but not much of a threat offensively. They're going to have 2 guys on him, run to the rim.
Carrington trying to get away. Jumper is good. He got away. It was just a glimmer of daylight.
Feeling it right now.
That's 23 points. And a hand-checking foul called against Snogo.
This is Carrington just going one-on-one. Good player making a big-time play. Foster's there. That's great defense, but lefty steps up. He's just really feeling it right now. I won't say in the zone quite yet. We'll see if he gets there.
Well, he had 27 points the last time they faced the Blue Jays. He's putting together a similar night here at the Prudential Center. Snogo takes a seat with 3. Rodriguez back in with 3.
And now this is a small lineup. Coach Willard told us about this. Playing Rodriguez at the 4. Defensively, they can be pretty susceptible to second chance points and just breakdowns when he's at the 4.
We are halfway through the second half. Mintz with the shot clock winding down to 10. Inside to Hansen. Quick step toward the basket. And it rolls off the side of the rim. Rodriguez with the rebound. Rodriguez trying to initiate some action. Now we've got 4-on-4. To the corner for Seton for three. Good.
Rodriguez lost a shoe, too. And that's a huge transition of play right there. That's a 5-point swing.
Creighton now with 9 3-pointers. They have 3 straight games of 13 threes or more. They've never had a game of 14 threes. Carrington is fouled going up.
I'd like to see Greg McDermott go back to this kind of just selling out and just trying to deny him the ball. That's easier said than done. A good player can still get open and get the rock, because once it's in his hands, he's deadly right now. So your only option is right now is to take him out.
Well, 23 points, 27 the last time they faced each other. They get 24 points. He's 9 of 13 from the free throw line. Carrington also has 7 assists in this game. Second shot is good. And we are tied up at 6. We've had 7 lead changes in the second half alone. They worked on it today at shoot-around. Hector free for 3, no good. He wasn't necessarily the guy that got the 3 in shoot-around today, but they did work on that play.
It's great execution, though, in terms of they got exactly what Greg McDermott wanted. A great shot for Hector, and he's missed it.
Rodriguez working against Foster. Long skip pass to Jones. Jones to Carrington, elbow jumper, good. He's got 27 again. And that ball is out of bounds off the hands of Jones, but that was a heck of a play by Jones to stop Patton from getting that long pass.
This is number 1, Davion Mintz. Follow him. I'm not sure where he's going right there. You don't leave Carrington to help off. I don't care what's happening right now. Don't help off Carrington, because then he's got to close out and you're dead in the water. He's too quick, too good, and he's too much of a groove right now.
Sanogo back in with 3. Rodriguez checks out with 3 fouls. Now, you talked about that with Mintz. I mean, he is a freshman. He's kind of feeling his way, so that's kind of a freshman mistake, as Foster nails the 3 from the corner. He has 19 points.
Number of big shots made by this Blue Jays team, just quieting this crowd and changing momentum.
Sanogo tried to force it down low to Delgado. That's 14 turnovers for Seton Hall.
They ran this play before earlier for Seton coming out. See this elevator screen? They're pinched together. He slips right through, and Foster buries the 3. Seton didn't shoot it earlier, but he had a look.
That's exactly it. Creighton's largest lead was 7. Here's the alley-oop to Patton. Oh, man, off the glass. He just used the edge of his fingertips to hit that off the glass.
Amazing touch.
13 points.
C2. Thomas denying Carrington, number 0.
And Patton with the block. Delgado there with the cleanup. 998 points for Delgado. He has 10 tonight, 2 away from 1,000. The NCAA leader in rebounds off the glass, Kyrie Thomas, as Carrington fell to the floor.
Now they called a moving screen in the first half of Miles Powell, and it was really eerily similar right there.
There's the double team we talked about. Delgado tried to pass out of it and passes it right into the Creighton bench. 7:07 to play in the second half. Creighton hanging on to a 3-point lead. .07 to play here in the second half. Creighton with a 3-point lead. All right, this is a good time for us to revisit our keys to the game.
And we talked about it early, transition defense. No fast break points allowed. They've limited transition points as well. This second chance points, this one is amazing. This is coming from the best offensive rebounding team in this conference and one of the top 20 in the nation in Seton Hall. They are really doing a great job on the glass, the Blue Jays are. Value the ball, it's not happening. 15 turnovers leading to 18 points off turnovers. That's too many. Now, pace-wise, Seton Hall's not winning that battle either. Creighton's got more field goal attempts. They're getting second chance points. They're playing at a pace they want right now. Seton Hall needs to find a way to change the course of this game.
Well, Creighton will get the basketball out of this timeout, so Greg McDermott and Kevin Willard both got a chance to chat with their team with 7:07 to play here in the second half.
Another elevator screen this time for Zierden.
Miles Powell was able to pick it back up. Patton away from the basket. Here's Foster. Foster down low. Kyrie Thomas, tough shot. And the foul is called.
I know you get frustrated. You miss a layup, you're not happy, but he just compounded the problem because that's his 4th foul. And on top of that, that's going to send Seton Hall to the line. Now we know they're 62% in the season, one of the worst in the country, and free throw shooting, but still, you're giving them opportunities, and now your best defender is going to head to the bench with 4 fouls.
So Delgado will go to the free throw line, needing 2 points for 1,000, as you see Kyrie Thomas checking out. Desi Rodriguez will check back in. Madison Jones checks out.
Whoever wins this game, it's going to be done the defensive end. And for Seton Hall, they've got to get stops that helps their offense so they can get out. We talked about pace. They can get out and try to score early offense and then get back and set into their defense again. That's when they had the best joy in this game for about 10 to 12 minutes in the first half.
A little extracurricular activity off of the free throw that was made by Delgado between Zierden and Powell. So here's Delgado needing 1 point for 1,000. Sitting at 11. And it's no good off the back of the iron. Foster with an easy rebound. I get the feeling that Delgado would want to get 1,000 points with one of his patented shots, whether it be inside or maybe a jumper from the free throw line.
I think I'd want to see an offensive rebound dunk right now. They need to get on the offensive glass.
Up with the miss. Here comes Carrington. Up the floor, off the glass. It's good. He went to his strong side. We're tied up at 67.
Like getting downhill, he gets the stop coast to coast. When he's downhill, he is so hard to contain.
Well, that is a career high 29 points now for Carrington. Mintz on the curl. And a traveling violation called on Mintz.
And this is Kadeem Carrington, Bishop Laughlin's finest. Don't give him a foul. Let him do his thing in transition. Gets to his left hand, inside out. Mintz, he's got to step up and wall him off, level him off. And it's a 5-man process to stop a great guard like that. You've got to close up the gaps and make it look like he's got nowhere to go. He saw daylight, took advantage.
Carrington against Mintz again. Delgado put it on his hip, nearly lost it. Shot clock under 10. Carrington to the rim, and he's fouled by Patton.
Love that call by Kevin Willard. They've had some real success of setting ball screens by Delgado just inside the top of the key. So he goes to set that screen, but now you reject it because the baseline's open. The help comes a step late. And great job attacking the 7-foot redshirt freshman Patton. Not scared of him. Carrington went right at him, initiated the contact. Good call by the official.
Well, that's the second foul on Patton. And now Carrington goes to the line for 2. He's 10 of 14 from the free throw line. And welcome to a 30-point game, the first one in Carrington's college career. Kyrie Thomas back in with 4 personal fouls. Mintz will check out.
I would go back to that same set. I would have Carrington and Delgado play that high ball screen action, or even ball screen to an empty side, and let those two work. And if he can go at Thomas and pick up his 4th, that 5th, then send him to the bench, it's huge.
Under 6 minutes to play, Seton Hall in need of a victory, up by 2. Here's Thomas, sweet left hand, just slipped his way underneath.
Gotta defend. Made a couple good possessions, but Delgado, you got to step up on a ball screen. You've got to do something. Make him hedge, make that ball carrier retreat.
11 points. This is our 6th tie. And Foster pushes Rodriguez as he was receiving the basketball. And that's his 3rd personal foul. Seton Hall has been better from the free throw line here tonight, close to 70%. As Rodriguez just 1 for 1. 17 points for Rodriguez. Only 2 in this second half. That one hard on the back of the rim, but he gets it to go. 2-point lead for Seton Hall. Shooting 2 for the rest of the way. Here's Foster from 18. It's good over the top of Jones. That's not an easy shot.
That's a tough shot, and I still would like to see Delgado show a little bit more to give some help, but the defender was there for the most part. That's just a player making a play.
21 points for Foster. Tie number 7. It's probably not going to be our last. There's Rodriguez. Forcing his way down. He stumbled over the top of Foster. Delgado with the rebound. Delgado wants it back. He's got it down low. Double team. Kicks it back outside. Rodriguez for 3. And a foul on the floor. And that's going to go against Huth. He was locked arm to arm with Delgado.
And that's what we're talking about. He gets the offensive rebound, kicks it out. He wants the repost. They give it to him. And here comes the double team as he works through it. Take a look at the foul. Easy call. He's locked his arm. Easy call from the official. But he did a good job dealing with double team, dealing with it, kicking it across. And there was a wide open 3 that was taken.
Delgado misses the free throw. Let's check in with John Rothstein.
You know, guys, we're seeing an ultra-competitive game right here between Creighton and Seton Hall. Looking forward right now to the Big East tournament, a lot of coaches in the league think you're going to see this level of competitiveness at Madison Square Garden. Aside from Villanova at the top and DePaul at the bottom, Tom, 2 through 9, super, super close.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And there's 1,000 points for Delgado. He gets the roll off the rim. He has 12 points and 11 rebounds. Delgado now with 20 double-doubles, the second most in college basketball. Caleb Swanigan has 22 for Purdue. Patton was open for 3, decides not to take it. Left side of the lane, left hand off the glass.
Smart, skilled, and effective.
Yeah, here I was thinking he should have taken the 3 because he was open. Creighton leads it by 1. Trying to get it to Carrington. Carrington is 31 tonight for Seton Hall. Rodriguez doesn't take the 3. Instead, tries to go with the runner and gets his own rebound.
Said top 25 in the nation in offensive rebound percentage. They've just gotten 2 offensive rebounds and a foul on an offensive board. Blue Jays have to remain vigilant for the rest of this game.
Carrington high off the glass. Delgado rebound. Put it back good. And Seton Hall retakes the lead. Up by 1, 3:31 to play here in the second half. We'll be right back.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Time now for our AT&T game summary. So there you have it. Creighton with 10 threes so far. Seton Hall with 15 turnovers so far. That's part of the storyline. Seton Hall on top by 174-73. They're really commanding the offensive board. Seton Hall is in the last 5 or 6 minutes. They have 5 second half offensive boards. What do both teams have to do now these last few minutes?
Well, you just said it right there. The Blue Jays are getting initial stops, but you have to clean up the glass. This is what Seton Hall does. They're capitalizing now and taking the lead because of it. On the other end, I'm really interested to see the execution out of the timeout. We saw them run a number of things in shoot around. Watch Marcus Foster in the corner, fake the handoff. He'll cut back door. That could lead to a layup. I think they're going to draw something like that up here.
Yeah, we saw a number of different things during shoot around, but that seems to be where they may be heading.
Love the chess match, though, because now Seton Hall comes out with 3/4 court pressure. Now do you change up your call if you're Greg McDermott? Do they drop into a zone to really throw you off? This is when it gets fun here, the last 3.5 minutes, when the coaches go back and forth.
Jones on Zierden, bringing the ball up the floor. Gets it across the timeline with a couple seconds to spare.
And they are in a 2-3.
Does that surprise you?
No, out of a timeout, you like to give them a different look, but you got to know where the shooters are on the floor.
Shot clock is under 10. Thomas bobbled the ball. Goes down low to Huff. Shot clock at 2. Fadeaway jumper is no good, but a foul on Madison Jones.
looked like they switched into a man mid-possession, and they got a mismatch, and they took advantage of it. It's a smart play by Huff to get into the post, demand the rock, and then he had to shoot it because the shot clock was going down. This is the third time he's been shooting a jump shot. Foul shots when we come back.
And always.
3 minutes and 1 second left of big-time basketball here at the Prudential Center in Newark. So we look at our game reset. Creighton has 3 timeouts left. Seton Hall has 2. 10 team fouls for Creighton, so Seton Hall is going to be shooting 2 for the rest of the game. Right now, though, Creighton is shooting 2 free throws out of this timeout, as Huff was able to draw the foul on Madison Jones with the shot clock winding down. There's Jones. He'll take a seat on the bench for Seton Hall. Seton Hall 5-7 in the Big East after the loss to St. John's this past weekend. They have 3 home games in a row in the next 8 days, and they're hoping for 2 wins at least, at a minimum, in those 3. Reminder coming up next, San Diego State and Utah State. That game will tip at 10:10. It will also be available to stream if this game rolls along too long. Up to the line, 12 points, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Well, he even has a high arcing free throw shot as he misses the first.
Shooter, consistent. Shoot it the same way every time. This Seton Hall team, though, they know how to win close games. Won 2 overtime games just earlier this month.
And Huff ties it up at 74. 13 points off the bench for Huff. Delgado high post into the paint. Patton gets off his feet. Air ball by Delgado. Put back no good. Delgado another chance. This time it's good.
And they didn't double this time. They went one-on-one, hoping to clean up the glass. It didn't matter. The nation's leading rebounder, Angel Delgado, just made plays. He's now over his average of 4.5 offensive boards in Big East play. He's been dominant down the stretch, just manufacturing points.
And now he'll try to finish off this 3-point play. He has 16 points, 14 rebounds. And he misses the free throw. The ball tipped out of bounds. It'll be Creighton basketball.
An old wise man once told me, Tom, foul shots win ball games. They're now 21 of 31. Down the stretch, if they don't capitalize, they are going to be kicking themselves possibly into the NIT.
31 attempts for Seton Hall, 11 for Creighton. Here's Thomas. And now Huff. Huff jumper is no good. Strong rebound pulled off the floor by Sanogo. Seton Hall leads it by 2, could extend it here. Carrington with the ball. He has 31 points. Shot clock down to 5. Carrington has the ball loose and a foul underneath. And Delgado's going to go back to the free throw line. For those of you tuning in for the San Diego State-Utah State game, you'll be able to find that online at cbssports.com/live as soon as it tips off at 10:10 Eastern Time. And of course, we'll get you out there immediately after the conclusion of this ball game.
It sounds like a broken record. But Delgado again with an offensive board. I liked how they changed up their ball screen coverage. They trapped or blitzed Carrington. They didn't let him beat you. And then when you retreated back, wasn't able to get in position to keep Delgado off the glass.
17 points, 15 rebounds, 3 of 8 from the line. And he's short. He called it out as soon as it left his hands. The lead is 3. Creighton does not need a 3 here, though.
I can see the ball in Foster's hand with Patton ball screening.
There is Foster going up, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the free throw line for a couple of free throws.
Either one. Patton's going to roll more often, but Hegner really can be dangerous too. 45% three-point shooter. Delgado, really, again, their ball screen defensive time has been really inconsistent. There was no hedge. There was no forcing the ball handler to retreat at all. He was able to get downhill and get into their body.
Foster makes the first, 22 points for him. Miles Powell will check in for Madison Jones, who has 4 fouls.
That's also offense, defense too. Powell's a shooter, and you saw when they can help off of Jones, they don't really have to. They're not worried about it. Powell's a different story.
Second shot to make it a 1-point game. It's good. 77-76. Carrington with the ball. 31 points tonight for Carrington. Sanogo not really a threat from that area. Rodriguez against Foster. Step back jumper is short. And the rebound run down by Sanogo. Well, I thought Patton had a chance to grab that rebound.
And that wasn't a good possession, but right now their best offense is just getting on the rim.
Well, we're under a minute to play here in the second half. Seton Hall hanging to a 1-point lead. Double high screen. Carrington stumbling to the basket. Off the glass, good. 3-point lead. Foster through the paint. Layup is no good. Delgado with the rebound. Hands it off to Carrington, which is smart because now he'll go to the free throw line.
And that's a 4-point swing right there. Carrington, see, Hegner's going to try to drag him out here. And that collision by Thomas takes out the primary defender. Good job by Hegner, but that's a great finish off balance. And now the other way, though, this is Foster with a shot. He should have made that shot, doesn't finish, and that's just a big 4-point swing.
And how about the thought process for Delgado to hand the ball to Carrington, who's a better free throw shooter and now has 34 points and is 13 of 17 from the line. And a timeout called by Creighton. Seton Hall with a 4-point lead. We'll be right back to the Prudential Center after this timeout. Bluebeard Army is feeling pretty good about themselves right now with Seton Hall up by 4. Reminder, the San Diego State-Utah State game, which is coming up after this one, is underway and is now available at cbssports.com/live. We'll get you out there as soon as this one is over. Dave Ryan, Steve Wolf have all the action. Kevin Willard's team needing a victory, up by 4, and Carrington to the free throw line with 32.3 to play. One more shot. 14 of 18 from the line, and now it's a 5-point game.
Don't need a 3, you need the best available shot here. And that's what Greg McDermott drew up a quick hitting play, I'm sure, in the huddle.
The best available shot, but a quick shot if you can. Here's Hegner for 3. Good! Toby Hegner splashes it down from way downtown. It's a 2-point game. Stay with us. We're coming right back. Oh, we've got a 2-point ball game, 81-79. Seton Hall will have the basketball. They have 2 timeouts left. Creighton has 1 timeout left. If you're Creighton, what are you doing defensively against Seton Hall here?
You're picking up full court. You're going to look to get 1 trap. Maybe you get a turnover, get a deflection, get it going the other way. If not, if they break out of the trap, you get that foul. So 5 or 6 seconds may run off, but you have time with 20 seconds here. You don't want to just foul immediately. You want to maybe get a turnover first.
Yeah, and Seton Hall, reminder, 24 of 35 from the free throw line tonight. Carrington's been their best guy, 14 of 18. Reminder for those of you tuning in for San Diego State, Utah State, go to cbssports.com/live for streaming, and we'll get you out there as soon as this one is over.
And a quick note, number 2 in blue, Kyrie Thomas, the best defender, one of the most key guys on this team. He's got 4 fouls.
That's right.
So you want to foul, but you don't want him to foul. He needs to be in this ball game.
Ronnie Harrell checks in. He will run the baseline if Delgado moves at all. Delgado calls for the timeout. Things were getting a little jumpy for him. Seton Hall down to 1 timeout. We'll take a break. Back back here at the Prudential Center after the timeout. Each team is left with one. The possession arrow belongs to Seton Hall, and they have a 2-point lead. They've really jumped on the shoulders of Angel Delgado, who went over 1,000 points tonight in the second half, and Carrington, who's been fantastic.
Now, Desi Rodriguez can't move. He can move now because he's still off the made field goal.
Carrington is fouled as he tries to streak up the floor.
That was a great job by Carrington getting open. That last possession, Justin Patton was up there denying Carrington too, showing his lateral ability at 7 feet tall.
Carrington out of the line, 18.6 to play. Still plenty of time left. He gets 2. 15 of 19.
Now the possession before, when they came up, they ran some misdirection on the right. It was a play for Hegner to come off a screen. It was a big-to-big screen. He comes off, buries a 3. They may run the same thing again.
They could, yeah.
Because you're trusting that maybe Seton Hall isn't going to execute and communicate the screens properly.
This is a big free throw. He has 36 points. 2-possession game with 18.6 to play.
But you do not need a 3. You just need a quick, good look.
Oh, and Carrington dives for the ball. Foster let it go. Remarkable. 85-79. Thomas to the basket. It's good. With 10 seconds to play, and Creighton calls its last timeouts. Wow. Sometimes things roll your way. For Seton Hall, it seems like it's happening tonight. Our Wednesday showcase has been a showcase of a ball game. Seton Hall leads at 85-81. And the Pirates will inbound the basketball. Carrington having an unbelievable night. He has 39 points in this ball game.
Need all-out denial here. It's going to be a real quick foul because it's 2 possessions now in 10 seconds.
They get it to Carrington, and he is fouled along the sidelines.
I mean, I'm thinking back, and I've seen guys fumble it and turn it over or travel. I've never seen this like a pick-6 ball roll.
I think he got caught on his heels, like he fell back too far. Carrington with 39 points.
Talk about showing up when your team needs you. And he had put in 27 in Omaha, and I thought that would be a big game. Well,
40 points. 11 of 13 from the line in this second half. It's a 5-point ball game.
That's the key. We've been saying that foul shots win ball games. Well, he stepped up and he's made them, and they've definitely made enough down the stretch here for a team that shoots 62%, bottom 10 in the nation.
To have 40 or more was Sterling Gibbs. Back in 2013, he had 40. 2-possession game. They tossed it up for Patton. Picked up. The jumper is no good. The rebound is pulled down by the Pirates. Delgado will grab it, and Seton Hall will walk away with an 87-81 victory over the Blue Jays of Creighton behind a 41-point performance from Kadeen Carrington. This was a huge win for Seton Hall. They're a game from 500 even now with Marquette and St. John's. Creighton, meanwhile, 8-5 with Butler. Now for Dellen Cup and John Rothstein, our entire CBS crew, I'm Tom McCarthy. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Wednesday's showcase continues. After the break, we'll send you to Logan, Utah for San Diego State versus Utah State.